What's going on, everyone? This is Buckles, and this is the first phase of my WMCQ testing, the World Magic Cup qualifier coming up in Philadelphia at Eternal Weekend. So this is going to be a series of videos that basically covers my testing, my thoughts about what deck and what strategy I should play at the WMCQ, which is after this weekend, next weekend. So currently it's Friday, August 14th, and I basically have like a weekend, like a week, basically to prepare. And also WMCQ is also kind of a practice for the Invitational as well, which I'm also qualified for, and that's after the WMCQ. That's the weekend after that. So I think phase one of my testing is going to involve playing the Blue-Red Mill deck and see if it is still a good choice for next weekend. I think it's probably one of the most powerful decks in the format. It just allows for the easiest wins. I played an 8-man before recording this video today. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday morning. I tried to record 8-man. There were some problems, and it will not be uploaded because of those problems. But basically, like, I 3-0'd it really easily. The hardest part was the mirror match, and even then, like, I was able to squeak that through, and it was tough. But I definitely think this deck has the tools just to really, like, be so powerful. And you're playing some of the best cards. You're playing Jace. Basically, these 9 cards right here are just totally broken. And Magmatic Insight, Tormenting Voice are just the best enablers. So, like, Sphinx's Tutelage, it's, like, not really about this card. Like, this card allows you to win, which is important, but the real power, like, this card wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the power of these cards right here, these 9, and the enabling of these cards. And then the rest of the cards just kind of buy you time or kind of help you kind of lock up the game like Archive does. So right now, the first phase of testing is to see, is this deck still very good? Have people adjusted to it? Is there a way to beat it? So that's what this first phase of testing is. Should we just be playing the Blue-Red Mill deck? Should we just be playing the most broken thing in the format? And if that's not true, the second phase will involve, okay, well, the Blue-Red Mill is not the best deck in the format, or it's not the best deck to play this weekend because it got a target on its head and the hate does beat it, then what decks beat those decks? Or what decks allow us to interact with the Blue-Red Mill deck and whatever decks can be people being playing to beat the Blue-Red Mill deck? If Blue-Red Mill is the best deck in the format, then we have to figure out a way to beat the Mirror and the Hate. So I'm going to be, and I've given some careful thought, and with the new play point system on Magic Online, and just how I've tested before on Magic Online, I really think 8-mans are the way to go. Dailies, I think they take too long for 1, and 2, even though the caliber opponent might be a little better, I think they're also worse value now. Due to, like, spending 12 tickets to be in them, and then basically it's the time, like the 4 hours of time that you need to play in them. Where an 8-man you could play. So let's think of it this way: you have 4 matches in basically 4 hours. So you're playing like an hour a match, right? Well, like an 8-man, you could play 3 matches in 2 hours. So that means you can get 6 matches in for the amount of time that you're doing the daily. Now the 8-man might be a little bit worse value, but with the new play point system, I think you're not losing that much, and everything is kind of skewed to like have like a gray, where so think of it this way: like dailies were so much better in the old system, and like 8-mans were so much worse, and then 2-mans being unplayable. Now everything's kind of muddled in the mud, you know. So everything's kind of bad and kind of good, which sucks, but we're gonna do what you gotta do. So I'm gonna jam some 8-mans with this blue-red deck. See what I can learn from it, see what I can learn about Standard. I only made a couple changes so far. I don't want to make too many changes before I know the deck inside and out. The only changes I did were the ones that Michael Majors, the person that won the GP with this deck last weekend, suggested. And those changes was another Encase and another Disperse over the Displacement Wave and the Seismic Rupture. And his reasoning was that the Whelming Wave. He said that the Whelming Wave was just like a little, like, wasn't as, like, didn't impress him that much, and he thought like having a better utility card like Disperse was much better. And I will say this is really good in the mirror, like being able to bounce a Jace or a Sphinx's Tutelage, like when a draw spell is about to go off, is really important. And then the Encase is for the Jamoka's Commands decks, which allows you to slow them down while also having another enchantment to sacrifice, so you don't have to sacrifice your win condition. Okay, so let's jump in some queues and learn some shit.